letter R wears a crown on a ribbon below, light above keys. It smells like spoiled meat in Calvary Diary. A human being decomposes. The kid's letter is rippery but still flammable. Someone is trying to grow herbs in this greenhouse.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
What kind of boots?
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Lieutenant Walker's boot tracks.
Noted.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have... What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
Ele é o que está com o cogino.
Ah?
O que fez, o Ben Stiller encontrou um gajo no Instagram que fazia umas cenas esquisitas. Os vídeos marados. E convidou-o para fazer a intro do coisa. Ele é um gajo normal. E mostrou a cara dele. Ele já ganhou o prémio.
Volta atrás.
Não consigo voltar.
Não consigo. Não.
É o gajo que está com o cogino.
Ah, que estava naquela. Não, não é.
Não é?
Não é, não tem nada a ver.
Eu acho que é.
Não é.
There are several footprints.
É uma cena. Nem é short video, tipo, é uma cena na net.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. Well, it is a container. Maybe you're prioritizing it.
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too.
Seems like a reasonable assumption. He leans to inspect them.
Well, it is a container.
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria.
How do we get the
I
lock?
could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage,
Or
we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Another quest.
This trash container is locked. You stick the pry bar into the fissure beneath the lid and push down. It doesn't take much force. With a satisfying crack, the metal gives way. You can open the lid now. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Did I just have a promotion that there's something
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Look under the box.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. You see, you've done this before. The movements are recorded. No, searching for evidence in the... A box falls into pieces in your hands.
Quando o Arvin,
Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below,
o Arvin lá
and
na cima da
turbo
montanha,
noodles.
quando sabe que vai
Nothing
ser
of note,
desligado,
however.
ele diz hang in there para eles.
Sim.
Don't forget, ele diz aqui, don't forget, hang in there. É o que está escrito no quadro. E o Dylan pegou nisso, estás a ver, lembrou-se disso e foi ao quadro. Senão, como é que ele chegava
Eu nem
lá?
tinha reparado
Vê lá.
nisso, nem tinha.
Isso é só que ele estava a dizer, aguentem-se mais um bocado. Este então eu não percebo nada, este vai descarregar.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
A thrown-out towel, a mug, that's all.
Right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the whirling might have been involved?
Not
maybe?
really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Yeah, we need to ask the kids to put them here.
What's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
The mug, I'm getting that.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of
A
the yellow
cidade
man
tem
frolicking
coisa
in
estranha.
saffron.
Os carros são mais antigos, as casas estão todas. Não tem ninguém, tu não vês ninguém na rua, não vês ninguém no supermercado, não vês ninguém. Não existe.
Mas isso eu acho que isso é uma questão. Eu acho que isso aí não é de propósito. Eu acho que isso é mais uma questão artística.
Acho que não.
I don't know.
Only in its social sensibility.
The lieutenant briefly glances at the mug and returns his
You've
sight.
acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Search the
It's
food
just
waste.
organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge. and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A
What?
blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
It has the foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great pottery to
What
begin.
are you talking about?
I speak of the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue.
Okay,
It
I'll
would
do.
also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Box.
The container sounds a muffled gong. Tremble. The time is now. Taola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
What time?
Time for the show.
Ah.
For Taola. The
What's that?
Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin. Ipoli Osithian. Echondes Fronisin.
Nani? Wait. When did this countdown begin?
Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
This is because of the insane world ending I've been saying, isn't it?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
Am I sure it's not just a joke or some kind of coping
It's
mechanism?
totally also a coping mechanism.
I'm a little
So
afraid.
you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover.
I do think the world might end.
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all the
Oh
content.
boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling. Yeah, fraud and hip.
If you want to earn some change by guilting people, go for it. But if you want to earn real dough, finish the case and start getting paid again. It's just a race, but it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted.
Okay.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
I think I got it.
Right. What more do you need? A rubber condom stuck to the back. A graffito that says defeated. I think you catch the drift. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Look at the clip.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color of it?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Shake the light.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside? Light, made of paper or cardboard? Or dried flowers, perhaps? The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How will I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Right.
Interesting. What kind?
Yeah.
Interesting. What kind of
It
information?
depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for
All
example,
RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
that's all.
Okay.
Thank you. He returns with no ticket.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight.
Perhaps the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Station.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Field
A
autopsy.
dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
It's kind of
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
no.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Smell the
The
legend.
acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Shut up. Nose, I don't need your help. I don't need anyone's help.
Your nose does not understand what it did wrong. This, you know,
Acho que por
like the
acaso é
bits they
Witch Story
put.
with
Remember
that.
when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
He sprinkled liberally with the certain zest of toilet cleaner, a line this poet might have used.
Why, yes it is. Among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. What do you mean? Is that all?
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit to paper using the pen level game.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager.
Cross out the ones you've already.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our
No,
case?
actually. Any ideas?
Shit on a stick.
Ah, yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
I don't have another
Oh,
name.
well, then maybe I can suggest one.
Let me guess, the Hanged Man.
Oh, that's actually what I was thinking. The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Ooh, new skill point. Vamos gastar na fazer. Yeah, maybe this. There was mention of a naming conversation here.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Oh my, they're written in capital letters
Yes,
too.
all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
That's it.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Kim, all my cases employ a naming convention similar to what we used on ours.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named the case the Square Bullet Hole Murder.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
I'm not expecting
You don't
it.
exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Arson, petty theft. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from you.
Há aqui alguns que eu posso mexer.
It's just a... It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee, slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know.
Wait, somehow I don't want
What
to.
are you waiting for? Just. That's because you know where this leads to.
Slide the drawer.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's
Two
inside?
ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Fucking kill yourself, you asshole. The fuck?
It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked.
Já estou a gravar e vai ver onde se fucking die, you asshole.
It's the legend you found in it. Without resistance or sound,
Fucking
the
kill
two
yourself,
hammered, the
you asshole.
words just crossed your mind somehow.
Who are they for?
Who do you think? It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand. Without resistance or sound,